Despite Apple's iPad having been on the market for quite some time, tablets in general are still trying to figure out exactly what they need to be, and they're on the cusp of an evolution. They're trying to determine just how big their screen should be, or how small, how thick they should be, or how thin, if it should be finger only, or if it's going to be more productive to have keyboards and stylus. Trying to answer all of those questions and compete in an already saturated market is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1. Will it live up to the hype? Let's dive into the review and find out. The Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1 isn't much of a Note at all. In fact, leaving its predecessor Notes behind, the Note 10.1 is more like the Galaxy Tab. Then again, the Galaxy Tab 7.7 is more of a Note. I think they're doing it just to confuse us. But that aside, let's dive right into some specs. The screen on the Note is a huge 10.1 inches, but the resolution falters a bit, coming in below HD at only 1290 by 800 pixels. The screen, however, is bright and fairly high resolution. It's no Retina display, but it looks very good and has good contrast and color representation. Powering that display is a 1.4 GHz quad-core Exynos 4410 with 2 GB of RAM. It's available in both 16 and 32 GB varieties, and both come with an external microSD slot, which will let you expand up to another 32 GB quickly and easily. The differentiating features of this tablet are its front-firing speakers and suite of stylus-friendly apps which take advantage of its S Pen stylus. The front of the device is optimized for a landscape experience. At the top is the 1.9 megapixel front-facing camera and ambient light sensor. To the right and left of the screen, just outside the bezel, are two off-center speakers. The right and left sides of the Note are completely bare. The bottom has the Samsung proprietary port and the microphone pinhole. Turning the Note over, you'll find a slick back cover along with a 5 megapixel camera with LED flash. More on that later. The top is where all the fun bits are. You'll find the power button, the volume rocker, which is a bit unusual, we'll get to that in a minute too, and the micro SD card slot. Headphone jack and IR port are right over here. The hardware itself looks beautiful. That beauty doesn't extend to the in-hand experience. The screen is a fingerprint magnet and quickly gets covered by an oily film that is underscored by stylus trails all across it. The back panel seems to be the same material and texture of the Galaxy S3, and it's every bit as slippery. Samsung has gone to great lengths to make their user interface look nice. They've developed their own TouchWiz UI with their Nature UX, complete with sounds and textures that you'd expect to find in nature. The lock screen on the Note 10.1 emphasizes the fact that it's a tablet-enabled device with a beautiful picture of a fountain pen. The home screen comes preloaded with widgets and shortcuts that help introduce you to what the tablet can do, and heavily features Samsung's stylus-friendly apps. One of the more subtle yet elegant interface elements is the shortcut bar that automatically activates on the right side of the screen when you remove the S Pen from its stylus well. What's included in the shortcut bar? Why, stylus-friendly apps, of course. Samsung has an uphill battle to try and make an environment to take advantage of their S Pen. To do so, they've included S Note for note-taking, PS Touch, which is Photoshop, and even a game called Crayon Physics. Smart Remote isn't what you might think. It's not just a big grid of buttons and numbers that you push to change the channel on your TV. Instead of a big grid of buttons, it's more of an on-screen menu that shows you what's on now based on your location and your chosen content provider. It shows you what's coming up next, then very easily lets you turn your home entertainment system on, including your stereo, and it changes to the right channel. So with a quad-core 1.4 Exynos processor, you'd expect this thing to fly. How did it do? Speed on the Note 10.1 is snappy, but everyday activities are not always buttery smooth. That's not surprising since it's only running Android 4.0.4 Ice Cream Sandwich. We expect a Jelly Bean upgrade will all but eliminate any hesitation you might come across. Even still, unless you're very picky, you're not going to complain about the speed of the Note. Inside the Note 10.1 is a 7,000 milliamp hour battery. No, I didn't read that wrong. 7,000 milliamp hours. Well, how does it hold up? In our review, we charged it once. As it sits now, we're at 6 days, 14 hours, 48 minutes, and 44 seconds, if you want to get nitty-gritty. Now, that's mixed use, but push notifications for Facebook, Twitter, email via Gmail, and via Exchange were all running all the time. We ran games, we browsed the web, we used the calendar, we took notes, we listened to a lot of music. We even did some light video watching both on Netflix and on Google Play Movies. Oh, and that's with Samsung's special power saving mode turned off. So what did we like and what didn't we like about the tablet? For starters, one of the things that we really liked was the nice big screen. It looked good, not great, but it's going to do what you want with a 10.1 inch tablet. The next thing we liked was front-firing speakers. This lets you hear your content without blasting it to everyone around you, or being too quiet. One of Samsung's advancements is multi-screen, which lets you run multiple apps on the same screen at the same time, though only a few apps currently support this feature. And as we just mentioned, battery life is nothing short of amazing. How about some cons? Well, the volume button is upside down. The screen gets oily, and it shows stylus trails, which doesn't look good at all. That leads us to construction. It's not really well built. I mean, it feels good in hand, but it creaks and it squeaks. That's just not something that we'd expect from a high-end tablet, let alone the highest-end tablet from a particular manufacturer. And last, the S Note app. It's got great potential, but it doesn't live up to our stylus-friendly expectations. To do things that you could do on Apple's Newton requires extra steps. So if you'd like to pick up your very own Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1, they are available now. They come in two major configurations, a 16 and a 32 gig. The 32 gig is going to cost you just shy of $550 US, and the 16 gig is going to cost you about $50 less. We've seen that difference before on other tablets like the Nexus 7, though this one has double the space. And an SD card slot just in case it's not enough. So in conclusion, can we recommend that you get the Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1? Absolutely, with a couple considerations. First of all, this is a big tablet. If you're used to the Nexus 7 or even the Kindle Fire, this is a lot larger. It comes with a larger price tag too. Why? The screen's bigger, it's got longer battery life, and it's also got twice the storage space and external expandability. Now, is that worth paying double for? Some people might think so. For us, that's probably a little bit too high of a premium, but you've got to consider Google kind of pulled the rug out of everybody with the Nexus 7, and everyone's still kind of recovering from that. Are you going to regret paying the money for it? Probably not. This is a good tablet. There are some things that we'd like to have fixed, like some kind of a better screen that doesn't attract oil and leave track marks when you write your stylus over it. That's something that you just have to keep on top of by cleaning your screen off. How about the S Pen suite? That's the biggest thing it's got going for it. Unfortunately, it's not quite as user-friendly, but still very powerful. I hate to say it, but Samsung needs to take a page from the Apple playbook, and I know they've gotten in trouble for doing this before, but look back at Newton. See how easy that was to do a lot of the same things that the S Note app is doing. I'm not saying copy them, I'm just saying learn from what they did and take it to the next level. Once those things are taken care of, the stylus is really going to revolutionize the way that we're using our tablets. And Samsung is pushing that for everyone. So for that alone, we have to be appreciative of Samsung and everything they do. Back to this tablet, can I recommend it? Absolutely. I'm going to be sad to send it back, but all good things must come to an end. As far as Pocket Now goes, we give this a solid 8 out of 10.